What's up, YouTube? Dreamkiller coming at you in another video, and it's the end of one month and the beginning of another, so it's time for another episode of New Stuff, the segment in my channel where I shoot the shit about the recent purchases I've made, whether it be video games, movies, anything and everything I talk about and recommend purchasing. So, without further ado, let's begin. And let me start off by saying, this entire month for me has been heavy on point-and-click style storyline games. You know, the types of games that Telltale makes. Mostly because of a certain game that Telltale released recently, which I will get to in a minute because that's also another game I purchased, but I will get to that later. First, I'm going to showcase the games of that particular genre that I bought recently. Starting off with this. Game of Thrones, the Telltale series. When I originally did not purchase this on day one because even though I am a big fan of Game of Thrones is by far one of my favorite shows. I didn't watch Game of Thrones day one. I'm only recently started watching it. I'm on season 2, so I was a little hesitant to pick this up because I didn't know where this game takes place within the show. But luckily enough, it takes place right around season 3, right after the Red Wedding, which I knew a little bit about already, so I knew what I was getting into when they started that. So for those of you who like Game of Thrones and like Telltale, it's a match made in heaven. The only thing I have to complain about this game is that its background images are kind of sloppily done. You can tell that they kind of rushed it a little bit, which is a shame really, because the character models themselves are beautifully done, especially the ones that are based off the actual show. It's just those backgrounds behind them look so poorly done. Some do, some don't. I don't know if it has to do with the frame rate of the game or what, but you know, they're just not pleasant to the eye. But if you can get past that, this is a really good Telltale game. And a very good licensed game, too. Next up is a game that made Telltale what they are today, and that's The Walking Dead. The season 1 of Walking Dead. I originally had this on PS3, but I got the PS4 version mainly because I want to do a Let's Play eventually. As soon as I get through my Let's Play of Thief eventually. But yeah, this is the game that made Telltale a household name. It's a very good game. It's based off the comic book more so than it is the show. So if you like the Walking Dead comic book, and again, you like Telltale, it's a no-brainer. It's a really well done story. And, you know, it's good if you like point-and-click games. Next up, a point-and-click adventure story-based game that's not made by Telltale, and that is Life is Strange. A game not exactly developed by them, but it is published by Square Enix. And this game kind of took me by surprise when it was first released because, you know, this is kind of a little out of Square Enix's comfort zone. I've never seen them do a game like this. And, you know, Square Enix, you know, is known for their RPGs. They're known for Final Fantasy, Star Ocean, and the like. And so this was they were really coming out of their comfort zone with this, and I'm quite proud of them for doing that. I've heard great things about this game. It's pretty on par with Telltale's way of, you know, story-based, you know, the decisions you make affect the game. And it's a good storyline from what I hear. I haven't gotten the chance to actually play through this game, but I will eventually, and I hope to be thoroughly enjoyed. So, Life is Strange. If you played it, you know what you're getting into. If you haven't, you know, I can't recommend you purchase it because I haven't played through it yet. But, you know, who knows? You know, Square Enix might surprise me with this game. Now, this is a game I wasn't expecting to purchase because, you know, originally when they were thinking about re-releasing these games, I wasn't interested. But, you know, it happened anyway. I purchased Resident Evil 5 on the PS4. I already own the Golden Edition on PS3, and so, you know, I was hesitant to buy this because when I first heard that they were gonna release 4, 5, and 6 on the PS4, I thought it's kind of pointless because, you know, Resident Evil 4 has been ported to every single console and computer known to man. So, just porting over the PS4 seemed pointless to me, and it's kind of milking it for all it's worth. 5, 5 I think didn't need to get re-released because, it was already a beautiful game on the PS3 to begin with, and there's nothing to prove upon. And 6 had only already come out like a couple years ago, I think. I don't know when exactly, but it was fairly new, so the port 6 over the PS4 didn't make a whole lot of sense. But I do plan eventually want to purchase 4 again, just for the sake of wanting to play it over again, because I still have my PS2 version, but I haven't been able to crack open my PS2 in a long time. So getting the PS4 version, I wouldn't mind just to replay and hopefully do a let's play for it around Halloween time. 5, same thing. Want to do a let's play for it. And just wanted to replay it again. And 6, I'll probably purchase too. I was hesitant at first to want to do it, but for the sake of wanting to do let's plays and just having fun again with these games. Here's the thing about 5. 5 is the black sheep of the series. Well, actually, no. I think that would be more 6. 6 was kind of a iffy case, but 5 really was the black sheep of the series because it was the turning point for Resident Evil, from going from survival horror to action horror, having a more action-y feel like you're in an action movie with monsters, and it upset fans very greatly. And when it comes to me per se, I haven't been a fan of Resident Evil all my life. I really didn't start playing Resident Evil until I was about 14 or 15, when my friend introduced me to Resident Evil 4. So I haven't been a fan all my life. So I'm in the middle when it comes to the whole debate of, Capcom straying too far with the series. But I like Resident Evil 5. I don't think it's a terrible game. I understand why fans are not exactly happy with it. But it's whatever. I am looking forward to Resident Evil 7 though. I really think it's gonna be interesting what they do with Resident Evil 7. It does show that they're listening to the fans when going back to survival horror, but the fact that they're possibly gonna do first person with it and doing VR with it is kind of making me question their logic. But I look forward to it, and I like playing this game again. Liked it when I played it on PS3. I still like playing it. So if you're one of those few individuals that don't mind Resident Evil 5 all that much, pick it up. Next is a game that I purchased that was a really long time coming because, people have grown up with this series, but I haven't. I was never allowed to play this game series up until this point. That's Grand Theft Auto and Grand Theft Auto 5. I've been meaning to want to get this game for a long, long time, but for whatever reason, everything in my mind was preventing me from getting this. But, I have a roommate, and he plays GTA Online whenever he can, and he has it on the 360. And he looked like he had a fun time with it. So I said to myself, you know what? It's a long time coming. I really need to purchase this game, and so I did. I love the storyline for GTA 5. It's kooky. The characters are kooky. The storyline is kooky. It's a Grand Theft Auto game. It's a Grand Theft Auto storyline, so it's gonna be pretty over the top. And GTA Online is not that bad either. Certain game modes kind of confuse me, and I don't fully understand them all that much. But I like it. I've been playing it for a little bit. It's fun. Getting to create my own character within the Grand Theft Auto universe it's fun. So if you play Grand Theft Auto 5, you know what you're getting into. I highly recommend to get the PS4 version because it's really the definitive version because you get everything when you purchase this, as opposed to when it originally came out on PS3. So speaking of PS3, we're gonna move on to that console, and we're gonna move on back to a point-and-click adventure storyline games. And this is a game that's very, very infamous when it came out, and that's Heavy Rain. Heavy Rain is very infamous for its very, very cheesy dialogue done by voice actors that clearly English was not their first language. But kooky, cheesy voice acting, weird controls. That's the thing. that's what it's known for the most, is its controls. It uses the PS3's 6-axis scheme, where it's the motion like device within the PS3's controller that they used way back when. And that's the thing too about Heavy Rain 2, is it's a tech game basically. It tested the PS4 limits for what it could do graphically, what it can do with its control scheme, and like I said, it tested its limits, and it shows. So, and also, Heavy Rain is depressing as fuck. You will never find a happy moment within this game if you play it. So I would not recommend this game to anyone that suffers from depression and wants to deal with depressing types of storylines within this game, because it's riddled with depression. But if you like deep, emotional, dramatizing stories, and you like, those games that really push consoles to the limits, I highly recommend Heavy Rain. It's kooky. That's all I can say. It's kooky. Last up on the PS3 section, a game. This is a game from a long series of games that I want to go back to for a long time, and that is SpiderManShattered Dimensions. The reason I say that is it's been a long time since I played a Spider-Man game. The last Spider-Man game I played was The Amazing Spider-Man on PS3. And let me just say, The Amazing Spider-Man game was not all that terrible as people make it out to be. It's no Spider-Man 2 the movie game, but it was the second best. It was the second best game to implement the free-roaming web mechanics. Not as good as Spider-Man 2, the game, but pretty damn second close. And granted, it was copying off of the Batman Arkham games with its combat system, but it was actually not that bad. And also, I love the stealth segments within that game. So I was one of those people that thought the Amazing Spider-Man the game was amazing. But after that, I hadn't played a Spider-Man game for a long time. And so I had heard about this for a very long time, but the reason I was hesitant is because, unlike most of the Spider-Man games that are open world and do your own thing, this is more of a linear, you're given an objective, go from point A to point B while taking down the boss within that said level. But you're also doing it while playing various versions of Spider-Man throughout the comic book line, such as, Spider-Man 2099, the original Spider-Man, Spider-Man Noir, the Ultimate Spider-Man with the black suit. But it's fun. It's linear, but it's fun. And I'm just going to say outright, I think it was genius to get Neil Patrick Harris to do the voice of Spider-Man, because his voice and the way he performed within the game was amazing. I think it's a shame that they did not get to use him in future Spider-Man games. It's a shame that he didn't get a chance to do more games, because his voice just fit. It really did. So, if you like linear games and you like Spider-Man, I highly cannot recommend this game enough. It is really fun. It is as Spider-Man as it gets. So, I'm going to move on to a point. We're still going to be talking about video games, but I'm going to be talking about digital games that I purchased that I do not physically own, so I can't show off anything, but I will show off, a little picture of what the game looks like, the game's cover looks like. I'm going to start off with the game that got me really interested in the point-and-click story-based games, and that was the recent game that Telltale released, and that is Batman, the Telltale series. Episode 1. They've only released Episode 1 so far. Originally, I was just going to wait. Like, the physical copy of the game doesn't come out until right around sometime in September. I think it's like September 13th or something. But I really could not wait, because I was super excited when they announced that Telltale was going to be doing a Batman-based storyline. I mean, at first I was a little hesitant, because most of Telltale's games, decision-based, involves killing and stuff like that. I'm like, how are they going to implement that with Batman? Because Batman can't kill, so most of his decisions are going to be very, very limited. But turns out, you're more Bruce Wayne than you are Batman, and the decisions you make with Bruce Wayne are very, very crucial and dramatic, and really influence the story very much. Again, this is only episode 1, so we haven't gotten the full picture yet, but I have no doubt in my mind that Telltale is going to knock it out of the park when they finally release all the episodes of Batman the Telltale series. It is a good start so far, and I'm really happy that they got a chance to do this because it was really a no-brainer. It really was. Telltale, I've never seen Telltale do a bad game. You know, most people will probably disagree with me because, you know, they're not used to, they're kind of getting sick of Telltale's the way they're dealing with their games now. But I don't have a problem with what Telltale's doing with their games. Still don't. Okay, and the final game that I did not, I was gonna wait, but I knew it was gonna be a long wait, and I was tired of waiting, and that is the Hitman game. The recent Hitman reboots, remake, whatever you want to call it. The game that was, you know, kind of controversial because of the way it was going about. The new Hitman game was going for an episodic release, much like what Telltale is doing with their games. And it was quite controversial. People were not exactly happy about that. And I wasn't happy about it. I was one of those people that's like, oh, I'm just going to wait until the physical release. Come to find out, they're not going to release the game until next year. Like the beginning of next year. And I really, as much as I was willing to wait, I couldn't wait any longer because I was interested in what this new game was capable of. Like, you know, IO Interactive, you know, touted about how the maps for the new Hitman game were going to be so much larger than any other Hitman they've ever put out online, and be more, do whatever you want to get the mission done in a stealthy manner. And, you know, it intrigued me, but I just didn't want to do the whole episodic thing because I did not think it was a good idea. But again, I just couldn't wait. And so I purchased the game midway as they were about to release episode 4, which is the Bangkok mission. So I got a chance to play through the first 3 missions. Haven't done all the bonus stuff, but I like what I'm playing. It's way better than Absolution. Absolution, you know, was a mixed bag. It didn't please a lot of people. I thought it was okay, but I knew it could have been better. But this new Hitman really shines. It harkens back to old school Hitman. For those of you who have ever played the original Hitman, would I highly recommend you playing this? Yes. Is it worth purchasing now, considering the fact that they're still released, they still have more episodes released? Yeah. I mean, I'm not one for digital purchases. I prefer my physical media, but you know, there's certain times where I can't wait for developers to release the physical content. Like, I want it now, and when I have to wait, I just can't wait anymore. So these were the 2 exceptions I made to buying these games digitally, because I really wanted them now. I could not wait. So purchase them. If it's ready, if you have to question it, then, you know, wait if you want to. I mean, I'm kind of a little mixed when it comes to whether or not you should purchase it or not, because I just purchase them because I'm impatient. If you're an impatient person, then yeah, purchase it. But if you can be patient, then wait. You know, it's entirely up to you. But I'm totally having fun with these games. And I cannot wait for future episodes to be released. Okay, so that's that. I'm done with video games. Now it's time to move on to the one movie that I purchased this month, and it's a movie I was highly, highly anticipating for, and that is Batman: The Killing Joke, based on the groundbreaking, acclaimed storylines ever in Batman history, which unfortunately I didn't get a chance to read growing up because it just wasn't available to me at the time. But I will get to that in a minute. But for those of you who don't know, you know, it's based on the comic book where the Joker basically shoots Barbara Gordon, paralyzes her, captures Commissioner Gordon, drives him insane, tries to prove a point that any normal person like him, because there's an origin story involved with him that, you know, goes with this, any normal person can go insane based on one bad day. And you know, that the philosophical meaning to this story holds meaning to this to me a lot, and does to many people who know about the storyline. Again, I never got a chance to read the comic book, but I know the basis of what the story tries to tell us. And everyone complains about the first half of the movie where it's just more padding for the movie where it's just extra stuff with Batgirl, where they kind of hint at a romantic connection between her and Batman. They have sex, they indicate early stages of her early stages of rape with this one villain that's like obsessed with her. It kind of unsettled people. It didn't go well with fans of the Killing Joke. And I'm just one of the people that I didn't think it was necessary. It's kind of padding, but had they just released the movie with just the Killing Joke storyline by itself, it would have been a very short movie, which is not good for business. I understand that, it wouldn't have been worth the purchase of admission had they just gone with the original storyline. And again, I understand why people didn't like that half a movie, but at the same time, it was kind of necessary for length's sake. And I wasn't bothered by it. It was pointless, but I feel it was necessary. But ignoring that, this is a movie worth purchasing. The most highly recommended DC animated film I can recommend out of all the DC animated films I have ever purchased in my life. Okay, that does it for movies. Finally, I finally get to talk about something I've been meaning to talk to you about a lot that I don't get to talk about a lot, and that's comic books. Graphic novels, more or less, because, there's no comic book shops near me, so I'm not able to talk about it as much and purchase them as much as I like, but god damn, when I went to Walmart, I made a killing. First of all, a friend of mine, a friend that I know that I get tattoos from, told me about that they were selling reproductions of The Killing Joke. See? I told you I was going to talk about The Killing Joke comic book. Yeah, this is a reprint of the comic book that they are selling at Walmart currently for $12. How can you not beat that? Again, I wanted to purchase The Killing Joke for a very long time, but I knew if I purchased the original source material, I was going to pay up the ass. So when I found out that they're making reproductions and selling them on Walmart, how can I resist? It's a reprint, but I don't buy comic books for their value. I buy them so I can fucking read them. So yeah, it's a reprint, but it's worth it. So just so I can read the damn thing. So yeah, go to your local Walmart and purchase this if you do not want to purchase the original copy of the comic book. Because if you just want to get the comic just to read it, go to Walmart now. Also at Walmart, oh my god, so I go in, you didn't hear that. I go into Walmart one day to the movie section, so I can try to find cheap deals for movies that I like to purchase. And by God, I see an entire section dedicated to superhero films, particularly DC animated films, and they were selling DC animated films like Batman Year One, the one movie, Superman movie based on the death of Superman. They were selling the New 52 Justice League. They were selling all of those. And they were selling the original source material of those movies. Well, not original, but they were reprints. And so I purchased Batman Year One. Comes with the movie, although I already had a copy of the movie, but I was able to give it to a friend. So, he benefited from it, and I benefited from it. Because I always wanted to purchase this book. I always wanted to read Batman Year One. But again, same thing with The Killing Joke. I knew if I had tried to go online and purchase the original copy of it, I would have been paying up the ass. With this reprint, if you already have a copy of the movie, give it to a friend. Just for the book alone was worth getting the movie all over again. And I'm reading the book right now, halfway done through it. I love reading this. This is, for those who's never read a Frank Miller comic book, he's written Daredevil, he's written for Batman, he's written for the Punisher. His storylines are so deep. And the art style from David Mazzucchelli, I'm butchering that name probably, but his art is fantastic. One of the things I always preferred about Marvel over DC is, their art direction was more realistic, but there's certain comic books within the DC universe. You know, there's certain books where I think the art stands out from Marvel at times, and Batman Year One is that said type of comic book. Like I said, they also sell the Death of Superman. They sell the New 52 Justice League comic book. They sell Batman. What was it? The Dark Knight Returns. They are selling the Dark Knight Returns. These books are at Walmart right now for dirt cheap. I paid $20 for this, and that was because the movie was in it, but it is well worth it. $12 for The Killing Joke and $20 for Year One. How can you not beat that? Go to your local Walmart. If you can find this, get it. And get the other comic books too, because I plan to back to Walmart pretty soon to get the other comic books. So that's it. I had a really good purchase. I made really good purchases today for games that I was not expecting to ever play in my life, and get comic books that I never thought I would own in my life. It's been a really good month for my purchases. So that's it. That's my video. If you enjoy what you watch, hit that little like button, because my channel grows because of it. And as always, subscribe to my channel, because as always, I provide more content like this as I go about my YouTube life or whatever. Yeah, so sorry. Yeah, as you can tell, my videos are always unscripted, and they will always remain unscripted because, I shoot the shit. So subscribe, like the video. Thank you for watching, guys. I'm Dreamkiller. Gamers keep on gaming.